Chapter 4. Layla chewed her lip as she watched Ollie leave, a breeze slipping into the Riker home before the door closed. Orelda pointedly didn't watch. Even as Tuck pawed the closed door and whimpered, she kept her eyes firmly on the fire, as if the burning wood had something to say. She hated Ollie leaving, which made Layla hate Ollie leaving. "I'll clean up," Layla said, rising with a sigh. Orelda blinked and looked at her daughter. "Oi, I can do it." Layla didn't bother to reply, just grabbed the bowls and spoons and carried them to the water bucket beside the fire. A brown and orange-stained rag hung on a small hook mortared into the stones around the hearth. Layla took it, dipped it into the murky water, and began wiping off the spoons one by one. There was little stew on anything, the Riker family having been careful to lick every drop away. But Deus says all dishware, clothes, and even bodies were to be cleaned by water regularly. That's what the order taught anyway, though sometimes Layla wondered if the Maker cared about such things. Was it possible a divine being could consider the mundane to be holy? She turned and asked her mother. Orelda looked at her, one eyebrow raised. "I suppose he might. Who knows what Deus really thinks?" "Well, if it is, I'm not sure I want to be all that holy." Orelda smiled. "We should get Evan Volt to clean our dishes then. Pretty sure he thinks he's holy enough for us all." "Let him," Layla said, tossing the rag back under the hook and then leaning against the mantel near the fire. The heat felt good on her cheeks and hands, and she knew the fire wouldn't burn for too much longer. They didn't have the wood to spare to keep the flames high through the night. "Or maybe Ollie should do it, eh? Wasn't he supposed to be sent off to an abbey or something?" "Ollie would have made a terrible priest." Layla snorted. "I don't know. He's crotchety enough to be one of them." "And what do you know of them? You ain't never met one other than Evan Volt." "Oi. Have you ever met any others?" "Oi, of course. Before Evan Volt, there was Payan, who was, if you can believe it, even more ancient." "Than Evan Volt? How?" Orelda shrugged, the corner of her lips twitching in a faint smile. "Not sure they ever die. Just become more wrinkled." Layla shook her head and then stepped toward the bed she shared with her mother, sitting on its edge. "And what was this Payan like?" Orelda thought, her finger and thumb rising to scratch at her chin the way Ollie did when he was thoughtful. "Crotchety." Layla laughed, the sound wringing itself loose from her gut. "I told you, Ollie would fit right in." Orelda smiled. "No, I don't think so." "And why not? I could see him growing into one of them wrinkly old hermits. And besides, he keeps to himself so much, he'll probably stay celibate too." "Maker, help me." "Well then," Layla said, leaning forward, "why wouldn't our little Ollie make a good priest, eh? I could see it." When her mother looked up, Layla saw clearly the lines around her eyes, deep with a lifelong mixture of laughter and sadness. "Ollie is many things, Layla. But a priest is not one. He just isn't, I don't know, content." "Content?" "Payan, Evan Volt, they're both content. They have what they have and they're fine with it." "Sustained off garlic and prayers," Layla said. "Whatever sustains them, they're pleased enough with it. They don't really want anything." Orelda gestured with her hands, casting shadows on her chest that looked eerily like claws. "But Ollie," Layla began. "Your brother wants everything," Orelda said. "That ain't fair, Mama. I mean, he worries that any day now the whole world will be scorched like the last Epoch War. And if we don't have enough jerky sitting in our cold box, we'll all collapse into dust. But other than that, he seems fine." "He's anything but fine." "He's fine, Mama," Layla said. "And we'll be fine too." Orelda stood and walked toward the bookcase near the door. She reached out a long finger, brushing the spines of each of the books in turn. "Your father wanted everything too. It's where Ollie gets it. He would pore over these books, looking for something," she shrugged. "And when he thought he'd found it, he went for it with all he had." Layla said nothing. Her mother never talked of her late husband. Sometimes it felt like she pretended the first 9 years of Layla's life had never happened, as though Layla and Ollie had never had a father at all. Orelda continued. He was hungry, never satisfied. I liked it at first. When he came to town, everyone feared him, a learned man who wanted to become a Strayazar of all things. Orelda shook her head. A Strayazar, the hunters of the wood. Your father was obsessed, followed them around until he just up and became one. He could read, and he wanted to learn the wood. Orelda dropped her finger back to her side. I don't push getting Ollie into the temple. Maybe I should have, but he didn't want to go, and your brother's thick in the head when he wants to be. And well, those priests, they would have taught Ollie his letters. Sounds wonderful, Layla said, scanning the books on the shelves. They had taunted her, tortured her all of her life, existing so close to her, holding secrets upon secrets, without a single living Riker who could read them. Maybe. But I figured if he learned his letters and all, then eventually... Layla leaned forward. Eventually he'd learned to read those books, and then he'd find whatever Pa had. Orelda nodded. Then I'd lose him. We'd lose him. Orelda looked down, her eyes dark and heavy. We'd lose him to whatever mad thoughts took your father. The same obsession is there lurking inside that boy. He is his father's son. Why didn't you just get rid of the books? Ulian would probably buy them, or one of the Hilltoppers. Orelda twisted a finger through the braid of her hair. 'Cause I'm a fool, that's why. Now, I'm going off to bed, and you might as well too. I have a busy day tomorrow. I'll be off to Rosetta's in the morning, hoping she'll have work for me. Just keep your distance from the wood. Mother, please. I'm just saying. Good practice to give reminders, I always say. I have never, ever heard you utter those words. Nonsense, Orelda said, walking toward Layla and pulling off her dress. Now toss me my nightdress, eh? I'm freezing.